Marcus Reed straightened his tie as he entered the gleaming glass tower of Whitman Associates, the most prestigious architectural firm in the city. At 32, with degrees from Cornell and MIT, Marcus had built an impressive portfolio of sustainable urban designs that had earned him accolades across the industry. His fingers tightened around his leather portfolio case. This interview represented everything he'd worked toward for years. The receptionist looked up, momentarily surprised. "Mr. Reed? For the senior design position?" Marcus nodded confidently. "That's right." His heart pounded as he was led toward the conference room where 3 executives waited, their expressions unreadable. This was his moment, the culmination of countless late nights and sacrifices. "Impressive credentials, Mr. Reed," said Thomas Whitman, barely glancing at the portfolio. His cold eyes assessed Marcus with thinly veiled disdain. "But I'm not convinced you'd be a cultural fit." Marcus maintained his composure. "My designs have won 3 national awards." "The Anderson Project in Chicago, yes, yes," interrupted Eleanor Prescott, exchanging loaded glances with the others. "But our clients expect a certain presentation." The third executive, Richard Bentley, leaned forward. "Let's be frank. Our clients aren't comfortable with, well, people like you representing our firm." Marcus felt his stomach drop. "People like me? You know what we mean," Whitman said dismissively. "We need someone who reflects our brand." As Marcus left, he overheard Bentley, "Tell Davidson he's got the job. He looks the part." Outside, Marcus watched a less qualified white candidate being welcomed warmly. The discrimination couldn't have been more blatant, more humiliating, more illegal. 2 days later, Marcus sat across from Zara Washington in her modest downtown office. Unlike the sterile environment of Whitman Associates, her walls displayed framed newspaper headlines chronicling civil rights victories. "They didn't even look at my work," Marcus explained, voice steady despite his anger. "Just made it clear someone with my skin color wasn't welcome." Zara, a renowned civil rights attorney with 15 years of experience fighting discrimination cases, nodded thoughtfully. Her sharp eyes missed nothing. "This happens more than people realize," she said, "especially in prestigious fields. But what they did was textbook discrimination." She tapped her pen against her legal pad. "And we're going to make them answer for it." Marcus leaned forward. "I don't just want the job. I want to ensure nobody else experiences what I did." Zara smiled, a determined gleam in her eyes. "Then let's build an ironclad case. This stops now." The next 3 weeks transformed into a methodical campaign of evidence gathering. Zara enlisted Terrell Jackson, a private investigator with experience in discrimination cases, to help document Whitman Associates' hiring patterns. "Look at this," Terrell said, spreading documents across Zara's conference table. 46 hires in the last 5 years. Only 2 people of color, both in non-client-facing roles. Marcus contributed by connecting with former employees. "Michelle worked there for 7 years, he reported. She says Whitman explicitly told hiring managers to find traditional-looking architects for client meetings. The breakthrough came when Jamila, a current HR assistant at the firm, risked her job to come forward with recorded conversations and internal emails. This proves intent, Zara said, reviewing an email where Whitman rejected a qualified black applicant with the comment, "Not our image." "With this evidence, plus the statistical pattern, we have them cornered." Marcus nodded grimly. "Time to make them face what they've done." The security guard's eyes widened as Marcus strode through the lobby of Whitman Associates, flanked by Zara Washington and 2 additional attorneys. Behind them walked a court official carrying legal documents. "We have an appointment," Zara announced firmly at reception, her voice carrying across the marble foyer. "And no, Mr. Whitman isn't expecting us." Within minutes, they were escorted to the large conference room where Marcus had been rejected. Thomas Whitman's face paled visibly when he spotted Marcus. "What is the meaning of this intrusion?" he demanded, Standing abruptly, Zara placed a thick folder on the table. "We're here to discuss your firm's illegal hiring practices, specifically your discrimination against Mr. Reed and numerous other qualified candidates of color." Eleanor Prescott laughed nervously. "That's absurd. We simply chose a more qualified candidate. Davidson has 3 years less experience and no award-winning designs," Marcus stated calmly. "But he is white." Zara methodically laid out document after document. Internal emails discussing the need for traditional-looking architects. Statistical evidence showing your hiring patterns. Recorded statements from your HR department. Testimonies from former employees. Whitman's attorney, hastily summoned, whispered urgently in his ear after reviewing the evidence. "You have exactly 1 hour to discuss settlement terms," Zara concluded. "After that, we file in federal court, and all of this becomes public record." The federal courthouse buzzed with tension as the case of Reed versus Whitman and Associates began. Despite settlement attempts, Marcus had insisted on a public trial. "This isn't just about me," he'd told Zara. "It's about changing the system." The courtroom fell silent as Jamila took the stand, visibly nervous but determined. "Yes, I was instructed to pre-screen applicants based on photographs," she testified, her voice gaining strength. "Mr. Whitman specifically told us to filter out candidates who wouldn't match our company image." Gasps rippled through the courtroom when Zara played the recorded conversation where Richard Bentley explicitly mentioned rejecting applicants based on race. "And what happened after qualified black applicants were rejected?" Zara asked. "Their portfolios were often marked NTI, not the image," Jamila replied. Marcus watched the jury's expressions shift from shock to outrage as the evidence mounted. For the first time since his rejection, he felt vindication approaching. The verdict came after 3 grueling days of testimony. Judge Elaine Morales's voice rang clear through the silent courtroom. "The jury finds Whitman and Associates guilty of racial discrimination in hiring practices." Beyond substantial damages awarded to Marcus, the firm was ordered to implement comprehensive anti-discrimination policies, regular third-party audits, and mandatory diversity training. Most significantly, a 5-year court-monitored hiring oversight program was established. 6 months later, Marcus stood in his new office at Whitman and Associates, now serving as both senior architect and head of their newly created diversity initiative. The framed newspaper headline on his wall read, "Architect Designs Blueprint for Workplace Justice." This was never just about one job, Marcus told reporters. It was about building something that lasts, a foundation for fairness.